Okay, so we are here to calculate standard deviation and show how you can do plus or minus 1 standard deviation, as well as how you can do plus or minus 2 and plus or minus 3. Calculate them and graph them. So for standard deviation, the first step, let me write the formula up here. Standard deviation is the square root of the sum of each individual x minus the mean squared. Okay, so xi is individual x minus the mean. I know that's kind of hard to read from zoomed out like that. So individual x minus the mean, you're going to square that, you're going to sum it up, you're going to divide by n minus 1, and then take the square root. So the first thing that you have to do when calculating standard deviation is you have got to find the mean. Okay, so my total there is 120. I'm going to divide by 5, and that's going to give me 24. And so that is my mean. Whoops, mean. Okay, and so then all I'm going to do is minus 24 from all of these, and I'm going to square it. Doop, 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 doop. Okay, so 24 minus 24 is 0 squared. That's going to be 0. 30 minus 24 is 6 squared. That's going to be 36. 16 minus 24 is negative 8 squared. That's going to be 64. 27 minus 24 is going to be 3 squared, that is 9, and 23 minus 24 is negative 1 squared, which is 1. Okay, so we took each individual x, we subtracted the mean, and we've squared it. So now we have to sum that up. We have to add those together. So we're going to add all that together, and that is going to give me 110. Let me double check that. I wrote that down, but let me just double check. Yep, 110. So that's what goes on top here. So now I need to divide by n minus 1. Well, n is the number of numbers, so that's 5. 5 minus 1, and I'm going to take the square root. Don't forget the square root. That's what a lot of people forget. So 110 divided by 4 is 27.5, and then we take the square root, and that is 5.24. Now, for the sake of simplicity, let's see, I'm going to round that to 5. In reality, I would not recommend doing that. But because we're going to be graphing it, I'm going to say let's go with rounding to 5 because we're not going to want to deal with a decimal. So what we have here is we have our mean at 24. And so when we go up 1 standard deviation and down 1 standard deviation, so plus and minus 1 standard deviation, 1 standard deviation is 5.24, or we're going to say 5. So we're going to go up 5 to 29, and we're going to go down 5 to 19, okay, because 1 standard deviation equals 5. Then, let me get a different color pen. Let's say we go up 2 and down 2, okay? So if 1 is 5, 2 is going to be 10, so that's going to be 24 up 10 to 34, down 10 to 14, okay? And then let's say we do one more, up 3, which is going to be 15, and down 3, which is going to be 15 down. So 24 plus 15 is 39, 24 minus 15 is 9. And so you don't have to do this step, I'm just showing you where I'm getting these numbers from, because what we're going to do now is we're going to graph those. So that's how you calculate plus 1 minus 1 standard deviation, plus and minus 2, plus and minus 3. You just take your standard deviations, multiply it, whatever, and then add it to your mean or subtract it from your mean. Again. Sorry, lots of interruptions. All right, so what I've done is I've gone ahead and graphed 24, just so don't waste your time watching me graph the mean. Okay, so we graph the mean. Normally, you're going to be working in this plus and minus 2 standard deviations, but I'm going to show you all 3. Just so you can see what they look like. But normally you're only going to be doing the 2's, okay? So I'm going to go up 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 29, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so that bar, which is hard to see, the green against the blue, but that bar is going to be my plus or minus 1 standard deviation. Let me zoom in so maybe you can see it a little bit better, okay? All right, then I'm going to do this one in red so you can see it, and I'll do it kind of to the side. It's going to go up 10, so it's going to go up to 34, and down to 14. Okay, and then I'm just going to connect those lines, again, as best I can. You're probably not ever going to do all 3 on one graph, so what I'm doing right now, you'll probably never do. And then let's do it with a Sharpie so it'll show up. The plus and minus 15 will go up to 39. So 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. And down to 9. And I'm going to have to do this one off the graph. There's just not room, but you would not do that. You would do it on the graph. Whoops. And so it would look like that with your mean right there. So that's how you would graph plus and minus 1 standard deviation, plus and minus 2 in red, and then plus and minus 3. Again, you would never do all three at the same time, so you would do it like I did the green or the red. You would actually do it on the graph with the mean right in the middle. And so I hope that helps. If you've got any questions, let me know.